billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursaleen wa ala ahli baiti tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin wa la'natullahi ala a'daihim ajma'in. Amma ba'd, faqad qala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fi Quran al-Majid wa Furqan al-Hamid wa qawluhu al-haq. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa innaka la'ala khulqin azim. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
The ayah Mubarakah that I have just had the blessing of reciting just now as the subject heading of today's talk is the fourth ayat of the 68th chapter of Holy Quran, Surah Al-Qalam. And it says about Rasulullah that verily, O Rasulullah, you have the most excellent morality. Now, akhlaq or ethics is an essential, in fact, crucial part of Islamic teachings. And only yesterday, Brother Ali Asghar told me about quoting Maulana Raza Razvi Sahab, that imagine religion as a tree, right? Tree has important bits such as roots, and usul-e-deen are its roots. It has branches and furu-e-deen are its branches. But really a tree is not recognized by its roots or its branches. The face of the tree is not its roots or its branches. It's the fruit.
MashaAllah.
It's the fruit which tells or gives the name to that tree. Okay? And the name of the fruit of the religious tree of Islam is akhlaq, is ethics. So this is the importance of akhlaq in Islam. And Allah Ta'ala obviously sent His prophets to give us all the teachings and teach us various religious laws and stuff. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was sent was sent at the last to perfect the religion and its teachings. And at another place, Quran Sharif tells us that in ayat number 21, chapter number 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Certainly, you have in Rasulullah an excellent example. And again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayat number 2 of 62nd chapter, Surah Al-Jummah, which we recite in every Jummah, هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلم الكتاب والحكمة. He, Allah Ta'ala, He is the one who raised among the inhabitants of Makkah a messenger from among themselves who recites to them His ayat, communications or verses, and purifies them and teaches them the book and wisdom. So let's see what we can remind ourselves about some of the important ethical principles of Islam. And I'll start today with the very basic ones, which are the duties. So our rights, duties and rights, they go together. So huququllah, so rights of Allah or our duties towards Allah. Huququl ibad, so rights of the people. And huququn nafs, our own rights. So let's start with duties to Allah and religion. So huququllah, according to Allah, He says in ayat number 56 of chapter number 51, Surah Al-Zariyat, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I have not created men and jinn except that they should serve me.
MashaAllah.
So that's the right of Allah, that we should do ibadat of Allah. And serve me, service of Allah, is Allah, does Allah need our service? So there are lots of explanations of this which go on, and one of them is that by service of Allah, Allah Ta'ala really means service to the humanity. In ayat number 90 of chapter number 16, Surah Al-Nahl, Allah Ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ, which can be translated as, surely Allah enjoins the doing of justice and doing of good to others and the giving to the family, Zil Qurba, and He forbids indecency and evil and rebellion. And in another ayat, He tells us about our duties towards Him. Ayat number 16 of chapter number 64, Al-Taghabun. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. So be careful of your duty towards Allah as much as you can. Having said a word about the duties towards Allah, what are the duties our own to ourselves? What are our rights and what are our duties to ourselves? In Islam, it is very important that we look after ourselves. We are discouraged to unnecessarily put ourselves at risk, either with body or with mind. We should avoid such companies where we know that such risks exist. So stay safe and stay out of trouble. It is therefore in Islam very important that self-harming to a significant level is haram in Islam. Allah Ta'ala says in ayat number 105 of chapter number 105, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu alaykum anfusakum. Those who believe, take care of yourself, your nafs, take care of yourself. And it's quite obvious that we cannot serve Allah, our family, our community, our country, anything, unless we are fit enough to do that, both in our body and our minds. So look after yourself. And what are the huquq or the rights of others, huququn nafs? And it feels fit to describe or to talk at least a word or two about the rights of our parents when we are talking about rights of others. One of the most important ethical principle and moral duty that Allah has given us is to look after our parents. It's so important in Quran, in Islam, that in Quran Allah Ta'ala tells us our duties to our parents immediately after mentioning His own rights. Immediately after that. So for example, in ayat number 14 of chapter number 31, Surah Luqman, He commands us, Inna shkuruli wal walidayk. So be grateful to us, shukr karo, be grateful to me and both of your parents. So in the same line He says that. And another ayat, number 23 of chapter 17, Al-Asra, He says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا إِمَّا يَبْلَغَنَّ عِندَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدَهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا فَلَا تَقُل لَّهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُل لَّهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. And your Lord, your Allah has commanded that you shall not serve anyone but Him and be good to your parents. So in the same line, without any break, to not serve anyone but Him and be good to your parents. If either of them or both of them reach old age, do not say to them even as much as nor talk to them harshly, and speak to them in a generous word, qalan karima. So respect your parents in the same sentence without any break. This is the importance of serving or rights to our parents. And what are the duties towards others, especially mu'mineen and mu'minat, or other human beings, human rights really. So we have the duties to other human beings. Among all people, rights of mu'mineen and mu'minat take precedence over rights of anybody else. And it's only logical. After all, charity begins at home. So rights of our parents are more than anybody else. Rights of our family is more than others. Rights of our neighbors is more distant living people. Rights of our countrymen is obviously more than other nations, and so on and so forth. Likewise, rights of the mu'mineen and mu'minat over each other are greater than other people. So Allah Ta'ala says in Quran, ayat number 71 of chapter number 9, At-Tawbah, Surah Tawbah, بَعْضُ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضُهُمْ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And as for the believing men and the believing women, they are guardians of each other. So mu'mineen and mu'minat, we are all guardians and and friends of each other. And just a word about killing and the nasty things that are going on in the world in the name of Islam itself. It's such an irony. All children and adults alike, children of Nisab and all the other children, they all know that Islam, the word Islam means peace. And it's such a shame that all the atrocities are being done in the name of Islam. Certainly, all the right-believing Muslims, especially Shia Muslims, we all distance ourselves and we condemn terrorism and whatever is happening in the world in the name of Islam, bad things that are happening in the name of Islam, unreservedly. In fact, we are the victims of the crime of terrorism. And only yesterday we heard that about the event that happened in Karachi where some people were killed and injured. Allah Ta'ala says in ayat number 31 of chapter number 5, Al-Ma'idah, Man qatala nafsan baghayri nafsin aw fasadin fil ardh fakannama qatala an-nasa jami'a wa man ahyaaha fakannama ahyaa an-nasa jami'a. Whoever kills one person, unless it is for the crime of murder or for causing mischief or terrorism in the land, it is as though they have killed all humanity, all mankind. And whoever saves one life, it's as if they have saved the whole mankind or humanity. These are the teachings of Islam. But let's pause for a few seconds and remember our Aqa wa Mawla Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Sayyid al-Shuhada. Despite all the hardships, he kept educating even the enemies about Islam. He reminded them that killing people for no reason is unthinkable in Islam. But Yazid's army, which is really equivalent to today's Al-Qaeda or Taliban or the so-called Islamic State and Boko Haram or whatever you think of, Yazid's army was not much different. They in fact are the hairs of the same army. Imam asked them, tell me, is it right for you to receive me with unsheathed sword? Tell me, for what crime do you want to kill me? Have I killed anyone that you want to punish me for that? Or have I taken anybody's property? La'natullahi ala al-qawm al-zalimin. Sayyidul lazina zalamu iyya munqalabayyin qalibun. Wassalamu alaikum.